everyone, Brian from the Leonard and Simon's Jewish Community Archives. From Out of the Box comes a Bisel of history, where he'll share a snippet about Jewish Detroit. Today, we are out on Belle Isle at some of the island's most iconic buildings, the Aquarium and Conservatory and the Belle Isle Aquarium. Many of you may know that these buildings were designed and built by the venerable architect Albert Kahn and his architecture firm around the turn of the century. Albert Kahn is undoubtedly one of the most famous Jewish figures in Detroit, but we'll talk about him another time. Today, we'll talk about a powerful politician and socialite who is primarily responsible for the funding of these two buildings, a man by the name of David Emil Heineman. David Heineman was born the son of Emil Heineman and Fanny Butzel in 1865. His father operated a successful clothing business with his in-laws, Martin and Magnus Butzel. This allowed the Heinemans a position of importance in Detroit's Jewish community, and their status allowed David to gain a decent education at the University of Michigan, studying law. After attaining his Juris Doctors in 1887, he quickly came to climb the ranks of Detroit city government, becoming the chief assistant city attorney. Soon after, he was elected to the state legislature in the House of Representatives for a term. He returned to city government as a councilman, later becoming council president. David was at the height of his political power in 1903 as a city councilman and a representative when he helped to acquire the funding for the aquarium and the conservatory. Heineman's travels across Europe had sparked an interest in the aquariums and conservatories of Florence, London, and Paris. Seeking to establish similar institutions here in Detroit, Heineman set his full attention and influence to the matter and was able to acquire the funding necessary for both buildings through a state bill. Albert Kahn designed both structures and they opened together on August 18, 1904. Heineman's ambition didn't end at the shores of Belle Isle. He drafted the first traffic ordinances in the city, and he designed the flag of Detroit in 1907, though it wouldn't be adopted until 1948. Perhaps just as important, he secured the property and $750,000 worth of funding required for the building of Detroit's public library through the Carnegie Foundation. His political career never grew beyond the city council and his one-term stint in the House of Representatives, partially due to his uncompromising nature and his use of four-syllable words in debates that made many of his colleagues question if he was praising or insulting them. Overall, his career was later said that he did what he could for Detroit and wished to do many things that were beyond his powers. He was too honest, too outspoken, and too independent. Beyond his public accomplishments, Heineman was a very well-connected socialite. He was one of the few Jewish members of the Detroit Athletic Club in the early 20th century, at a time when that organization was beginning to hold anti-Semitic values, and he would leave that organization by 1920. He served as the president of the Pisgah chapter of B'nai B'rith and the local American Institute of Archaeology. He was also a member of several other social clubs, including the Freemasons, Phi Beta Kappa, the Detroit Boat Club, and the Michigan Historical Society, just to name a few. His greatest contribution to the Jewish Detroit was his historical research on the first Jews in Detroit. Heineman was the first to study our history, and his research on Chapman Abraham, the first Jew in Detroit, is foundational. David Heineman's legacy lives with us to this day through many of Detroit's cultural institutions and through our unique flag. I hope that the next time you are on Belle Isle, or you pass by the Detroit Public Library, or you see the city flag, you'll think about David's amazing contributions to Detroit and our community's history. That's it for today's Bisel of History. Tune in for the next video, where Laura will be taking us out to a night at the Phoenix Club. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you like our content, and to learn more about the Rabbi Leo M. Franklin Archives and the Leonard and Simon's Jewish Community Archives, follow the links in the description.